Popka here, welcoming you back to another episode of Viridian Flashback. You know, if there's one thing that could rival my love of gaming, it's definitely my love of film. So whenever I see a video game adaptation of a film series I really love, I tend to get a little excited and nervous at the same time because, well, frankly, those games tend to suck. Case in point, the Evil Dead series. Starting with the original in 1981, the Evil Dead series has become a cult mega-hit, due in part to its protagonist Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell. So it was inevitable that there would be video games starring the wisecracking, chainsaw-armed, boomstick-wielding hero, and today we'll be looking at both entries for the Xbox to see if you should give your collection some sugar. First, we'll start off with Evil Dead, A Fistful of Boomstick. Developed by Viz and published by the late THQ, the story of Boomstick takes place 11 years after the film trilogy and 3 years after the previous game Hail to the King. We see our hero explaining the events of what happened. An audio recording of the reading of passages from the Necronomicon is played live on TV, causing a portal from the other side to open up in the town of Dearborn. Hell is unleashed as Deadites come and possess the living, causing the town to be engulfed in pure evil, and it's up to Ash to stop it.
Make mine a double.
So the story is somewhat decent, but how does it play? Boomstick is a third-person shooter similar to another Viz-developed game, State of Emergency. As Ash, you must traverse through the town completing various tasks while killing wave after wave of Deadites. At first this isn't too bad as the controls are pretty good with a button assigned for both of Ash's arms. However, killing what seems to be endless amounts of enemies starts to get boring quickly as the AI can be punishingly difficult. If you're not careful, you can die in just a few hits. To help you not die so fast, you do have a small arsenal at your disposal, from a pistol, shovel, TNT, Ash's trusty chainsaw and boomstick, and a few others. You also gain the ability to cast spells that give you an edge in combat, such as lightning, super strength, and possession, to name a few. A big flaw to the gameplay is there are no checkpoints, so you must save often. No problem, right? Wrong. You can save anywhere, but you have to find and use save tokens. Similar to the ink ribbons in Resident Evil, you must save wisely, otherwise you can run out when you need them most and screw up your game. So the gameplay isn't perfect, but how about the presentation? Does it fare better? Graphically, the game is bland. The buildings seem flat and lifeless, and there isn't much to add to the scenery. Character models are also just, with Ash looking like he went to the Max Payne School of Modeling. The audio isn't that great either, with music that's really forgettable and voiceover that's really hokey. Except for one, the man himself, Bruce Campbell. His wise-ass demeanor and quippy one-liners are so cool that the game has an Ash button. You literally just press the Y button and he gives you a taunt every time. It's brilliant.
Where I can find some more ammo? Parfait, anyone? Hey, nice face. Let me fix it for you. Come on. What's a little death? Does your mother kiss that face?
In the end, should you shop smart and pick up this title? Only if you're a fan of the Evil Dead series can I truly recommend this game. The extreme difficulty and limited save ability might hinder your purchase if you're just looking for some good action titles. If you would like to pick up this game, Amazon has it for about $25 new and $3 to $4 used excluding shipping. Trust me, used is the better option. And for my Sony friends, it is available for you as well. Overall, a fan purchase mostly. Evil Dead Regeneration, on the other hand, that's a different story. Developed by Cranky Pants Games and again published by THQ, Regeneration isn't a sequel to Boomstick. Instead, it's an alternate third sequel, like Army of Darkness never happened and Ash didn't get sucked into time. After the events of Evil Dead 2, Ash is locked up in an asylum because no one believes his story, except for Sally, his lawyer. However, things are not all as they seem. Dr. Reinhard, the head doctor of the asylum, has the Book of the Dead in his possession and plans to use it to obtain ungodly power. By doing this, he unleashes the Deadite hordes, and Ash must stop this evil menace. Again.
Well, ain't this a kick in the pants?
Along the way, he teams up with Sam, a half-man, half-Deadite who isn't affected by the evil and doesn't seem to have a problem dying.
He's talking about me, hero.
Yeah! Oh!
Ash, Sam was once a patient here. Dr. Reinhardt used the Necronomicon to change him into the creature you see before you.
He's a Deadite. End of story.
Okay. Bad first impression.
Sam is spiritually connected to the book, but his soul remains untarnished by evil. He can sense where the portals are. He knows the necessary incantations to close them. You will fail without his help.
All right, we go. But if you get all Deadite on me, even for a second, I'll carve you up like a Christmas goose. You got that, Stubby?
Reality check. Who you calling Stubby? Stubby?
Story-wise, it's not bad at all. It's much better than Boomstick's story, and I feel it's more authentic to the film series, especially with its dark, humorous tone. Personally, I wouldn't have minded seeing this into an actual film. Gameplay-wise, it too is a third-person action game, but more in tone with the style of God of War. The levels are very straightforward. Kill enemies, solve a few puzzles, move on. However, the combat is much more fun than Boomstick's. This go-round, Ash has a more robust combo system to take down the Deadites, complete with pretty cool finishing moves that can be activated when an enemy has taken enough damage. However, Ash's attacks seem to be a little overpowering. Coupled with the fact that your guns have infinite ammo, the combos are rarely used and you end up just spamming the buttons. Thankfully, if you want to get creative with your fighting skills, the controls are responsive. Sam's gameplay mechanics are decent as well. Since he can't die, you use him to attack unreachable enemies and open doors and switches.
You can eat my balls. You understand?
You can also possess Sam to reach areas that Ash can't to solve puzzles. A neat idea that sadly becomes repetitive. Also added to your abilities is the power to change into Evil Ash. You know, from Evil Dead 2, only roided out. Doing this boosts your attacks and giving you a slower health reduction, making it handy when fighting a bunch of Deadites. Lastly, the arsenal. Along with the pistol and the chainsaw boomstick combo, there are a few others. In particular, a harpoon gun that turns Ash into Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Get over here!
Oh, sorry. Slipped. Yeah. I mean, really.
I do have a few flaws with the game besides what's been mentioned. Sometimes the AI can be a little cheap attacking you, like the first boss for instance, who electrifies the floor while attacking you, making dodging a bit of a pain. Also, like Boomstick, there are no checkpoints. However, instead of collecting tokens to save, you have save points in the level, and also after you beat a stage. So the gameplay seems to be way better than Boomstick's, but does the presentation fare better as well? Graphically, yes. It's leaps and bounds better than Boomstick and still looks decent by today's standards. The character models fare better as well, and Ash looks like he was finally able to go to the bathroom.
Let's see if these freaks are still allergic to lead.
However, some of the level design is kinda eh.
Hey, Napoleon, go open that gate for me and make it snappy.
Audio-wise, it's 50-50. The voiceover cast is pretty good, but the standouts are Bruce as Ash and Ted Raimi, brother of Evil Dead creator Sam Raimi, as Sam. Their interaction together is priceless.
Rats, mother of all disease, lords of unholy pestilence!
What is your malfunction, Shrimp? Quit pole dancing on my leg.
Do you know how many germs these rats are packing? Syphilis, polio, gingivitis? Little petri dishes with teeth, for freak's sake. I'd rather suck face with a sewage...
The music, however, is a strange bag. The main music is kind of quiet and somber. However, when you play as Sam, the music just gets odd.
I swear to crap, if you even pull one scratch on me...
Don't you worry, little twerpy. I'll bring you back in one piece.
Also, when you play as Evil Ash, it strums off a metal tune that's not that bad. So, is Evil Dead Regeneration worth summoning to your Xbox collection? Very much so. With its fun gameplay and funny, captivating story, it's definitely worth nagging a spot in your collection just a little bit above a fistful of boomsticks. On Amazon, you can get it for about $10 new or $4 used, excluding shipping. And like with Boomstick, it's also on PlayStation 2 as well. It was also brought to the PC, and if you don't feel like Xbox collecting but want to play these games, they are both backwards compatible with your Xbox 360. In the end, even though both games are different, they kind of complement each other. If you're an Evil Dead fan like me and you have the means, I'd say get both of them. However, if you can only choose one, I'd say go with Regeneration. It's just simply the better of the two and a more justifiable purchase than Fistful of Boomstick. Well, as always, I'm the Dali Popka, and if you want to play retro, try going green. Klaatu, Varata, forget it. See you next time.